Hello? This thing on? How's everybody doing this morning? Got a big show in store for today. Got a couple stories. Told you I was playing ball this past weekend. Got that in. I hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend, by the way. I know I did. Good to play softball. 7 games of softball in one day. Whether you win or lose, I feel like you win no matter what in that situation. Got that in. Got some stories to tell from the weekend. My man Grumpy Snacks checking in. My guy Sammy checking in. Then gonna hang out and have a little bit of an interview time. Pulling in my guy Fat Guy BP. He's gonna come hang out with us on the podcast this morning. So I'm excited for that. I kind of give everybody a rundown of what all went down on the weekend and chit chat for a minute. I didn't figure I was gonna make him sit here and be a passenger in the car for that trip. So we'll get some of that stuff off my chest and some of that out of the way, and then we'll jump right into the action with Adam. Really excited to have him on the show. He's Adam's a super good dude, man. I've known him for a little bit now, and I ain't gonna get into it too much, but a couple. It took me a while to connect the dots, but something I thought was also kind of cool with him as well. Kind of came full circle, and it's a small world, man. And yeah, Snacks, it's about time you made it live as a viewer. Got about a 30-minute break between conference calls. I'll tell you what, you're in for a treat today, my friend. How's everybody else doing this morning? Did anybody else play ball this weekend? Big long weekend. Get plenty of softball in. I think our tournament was supposed to be 2 days and ended up just being 1 day. And boy, it was a grinder. I think it was 8 teams. Supposed to be. I think there was like 10 or 12 signed up, and I think a bunch bailed out. There was basically an outlaw tournament going on like an hour south of us, and then a big cash tournament going on about an hour and a half north of us. So between people just trying to get qualifiers in and people trying to get U-Trip points, and some people just want to play sanctioned ball, that'll be how it bees sometimes. Second place got a ring, Sammy? Why does second place get a ring? You talking like second place overall or second place in each pool? I didn't realize that. Mr. Authentic Taco, love the name, by the way. I think I've told you that once before. I will not be in Lawrence this weekend. Unfortunate to report. Eric is woke up. Eric, I bet you're glad we're pushing this show back an hour just so you don't have to roll out of bed. You can get your day started at least a little bit before you crank this thing up. Mr. Taco, Sonic is signed up, and I believe I'm still in the roster, but I will not be in attendance. The second place team that you beat got a silver ring. Why would the second place get it? That don't make no sense. We'll talk about that more here in a minute too. Oh yeah, Snacks giving out rings. It's an incentive thing anymore, you know. Like everybody feels like they got to have something that's kind of like a participation trophy. Like I guess it's cool to say you got a ring, but here's my deal: is maybe they had the rings already bought, so they decided to give those out. But one, a ring for a not very big tournament course. Maybe you expect a better turnout, because in an ideal world, you got a 6-game guaranteed tournament. You think on a Memorial Day weekend, you think you'd have people lined up out the door and around the corner to come play. and we ended up with 8 teams. And I don't know if it was supposed to work out this way or if it's how they ended up doing it just because of who was signed up. But they basically did, what was it? I guess 4 pool play games. And then from there rolled into 2. You had 8 teams that did 4 pool play games. And then rolled into 2 double elimination 4-team brackets. Basically an upper and a lower. And that's crazy to me that basically the second place team in the lower bracket would get rings. That is weird, I'm not gonna lie. My man Sammy got him a ring though. Give him a little shout out, give him a little love for that here in just a minute. My man Jorge in the chat. Jorge, what'd you get figured out, buddy? Anything? Give everybody a couple more minutes to file in here. Got some stuff to smash in here, and then we're gonna bring in my guy Fat by IBP for a little podcast love this morning. Really looking forward to that. Is anybody playing anywhere this weekend? Obviously, we got Authentic Taco going out to Lawrence, Kansas, and getting some action in. Okay, Jorge, let me know if nothing comes of that. I can try and shake a few things loose for you. It's kind of weird that they won't give you a call back or anything. The inevitable, or I shouldn't say the inevitable, but the unthinkable happened. So my guy Jorge bought him a bat, got all excited from a video that we posted, bought him a bat, and then like not even 50 swings in, the dang thing broke at the handle. It's not even like the barrel broke, it broke at the handle. And that's a bummer, dude. Like, I feel so bad for the dude, and he's having a hard time getting a hold of the company that made the bat. So if he can't get a hold of anybody or get anything going, see if we can't help him out in some sort of fashion and bark up a couple trees to get him a response or get something going for him, because nobody likes going down like that. See, we got Aggie playing in the One Nation out in Ohio this weekend. Snacks has got a free weekend. CJ says that's KC softball. $5.50 entry, $60 for bands. 60 for bands? I thought bands were only $10 a piece. Those bands were $20 a piece? Man, I will say I didn't have to pay for a band, so I guess that was kind of nice. Either that or I was supposed to and didn't. Whoops. Sorry, Seth. So I picked up this weekend. I didn't actually, or this past weekend, I actually didn't play with Sonic, my actual guys. I picked up with a team that was in need. And it worked out. Like I said, I had a good time playing with a lot of friends and that kind of thing. $20 a piece? Golly. That's nuts. That is absolutely insane. But hey, I was eating lunch early. I got my money's worth out of my band anyway, even though I didn't pay for it. I think I started the day with I want to say five or six home runs in the first 3 games, and then I don't know, just kind of one of those things. I kind of lost the lift at swing. Just kind of kept going hard, and things were working out. Let's see, Authentic Taco says, real quick, KO in Kansas is not replying, and I need people rostered. Who do I get a hold of? Maybe try Jeff Shaw. I know Jeff Shaw works below her. KO is basically the Missouri-Kansas director, as far as I'm concerned. Not as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware. So she would be who you need to talk to get something like that done. You might be able to just write them in day of on a paper roster as well. That's a possibility. But I know that she's super busy. She's always got a lot going on, so sometimes that means that she's kind of delayed in her replies to things sometimes. I do know that just from the little that I've dealt with her. We were having some issues getting some players added over the offseason. CJ says, good luck getting any response. Oof. That's kind of a bummer. A Snack says, okay, that reminds me for a topic. A softball mentality, what you do when a teammate start imploding. That's where a leader's got to come in. A leader's got to come in, and when I say a leader, like, I think some people kind of get misconstrued what a leader is. A leader isn't, sometimes may not be your best player. A leader sometimes may not be, your loudest guy. A leader sometimes may not be the guy that is like the face of the team per se. Because like every team's always got like those one or two guys like you think of when you think of the team. A leader is something that like you learn how to do. A leader is something that you learn from experience. It's not like you get advice from a leader of another team and tips and pointers and that kind of thing, and you figure it out that way. A leader is something that is made over time with experience. Kind of a been there and done it kind of thing. A leader is going to be someone that's not going to ever beat someone down for a mistake or really anything. A leader is going to be someone that can kind of rally the troops and get a sense of urgency going sometimes. Like, I've seen situations where leadership can really give a team a sense of urgency where they didn't have one. And I don't mean a sense of urgency like a sense of panic. A sense of urgency is in a sense of inspiration. Trying to get some kids picked up. I'll tell you a story like from this weekend. We did not have a good inning. We had a lot of young guys on the team this weekend, and part of young and experienced players sometimes is mistakes in watching them snowball. We had a rough inning, and myself included in that rough inning. I had one ball. Junk, you ain't late to the party. Quit it. You're still here. I had one ball that it was like kind of one of those cue shot things. If you're a pitcher, you understand what I'm saying. It's kind of one of those cue shot things. Like the swing said it was going to come at you at about 90, and the ball came at you at about 60. And it did. Honestly, the hop just ate me alive. I was not ready for it. I mean, I could have went and made a sandwich and came back, and the ball still wouldn't have been there. But I misplayed it based on trying to read the swing. And then another one I just absolutely screwed up on. It kind of caught me off guard and ate me up in that way. So I mean, myself, I was included in an inning, but it was not a good inning. It felt like we were out there for about a half an hour, and I could see the tension building among the younger players and just the situation in general. I kind of said, hey, a couple of times, like, hey, let's get out of this. And we got guys bickering, we got guys mad, and we got heads hanging, chins on chests. Chins on chests everywhere. And if I look up at another player and I see a chin on a chest, and then I look at another player and I see a chin on a chest, well, next thing you know, everybody's got their chin on their chest, looking down, bummed out, upset, and you're not going to get anything done that way. And especially being a pitcher, honestly, a pitcher or a catcher or anything like that, you've got to try and stay positive. I mean, like I said, the wheels were falling off the bus. We're out there just running on nothing, and you've got to find a way to stay positive and be a leader. And that's what I'm talking about when you'll recognize those times. A good leader will recognize the time when to say something. We got guys out here trying to critique each other and, do this with that throw or put your feet here when you do that. And and like, the ball's still rolling through the outfield, and we're telling people what they did wrong. That's not the play. The play is rally the troops once you get out of what you're in, and go from there. We were winning when this disaster of an inning started, and we had lost the lead. I honestly can't tell you by how much, by how many runs. It was, I want to say, we were up by almost 10, and then we came in down almost 10. And sorry, I'm sitting here reading. We were up almost 10 and came in down almost 10. We were up almost 10 and came in, and the game was almost tied. That's what it was. And I stopped everybody at the gate. I said, hey, listen, we can go in this dugout and we can talk about what just happened, but there's really no need, right? I said, there is absolutely no need to walk past this gate and talk about what happened on that field. We were all here. We all saw it. We were all a part of it. Every single one of us were a part of what went wrong in that inning. But what we cannot do is take it into this dugout with us. Said, we need to come in and forget it even happened. I don't want to hear a word about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to hear about it after the game. So what we need to do right now is come in here and hit and put that inning behind us and pretend it never happened and move forward from it. And long story short, a little bit of a pep talk for some of these younger, inexperienced kids just trying to be a leader. I'm not even on this team, just trying to be a leader in a little bit of a voice of reason, as Snack said, and an inspiration. And next thing you know, we busted off over 10 runs. It had to be over 10 runs in an inning. I want to say it was closer to 15. Ended up walking off. We had the home team and ended up walking off and winning the game. That was our biggest inning of the day, right after our worst inning of the day, because leadership stepped in, a voice of reason stepped in, a leader stepped in and said, hey, look, we're not doing this. We can go in this dugout and talk about all the bad things that happened, but we're all aware. And take that forward in your play as well. Like, we're all aware of what's happening on the field. Like, it was a disaster of an inning. It was a travesty. It was painful to watch. It was painful to be a part of. Everything about it was painful unless you're the team doing it to us. You know, unless you're on the delivering end of that, it's tough. And sometimes even then it's tough because you're like, damn, these guys can't catch a break. But you can't take it to the dugout with you. You got to leave it on the field. You have to leave it on the field. You can't come in and throw your glove and smash your bat or, say, dang it, I don't want this game to be over. I wanted to hit again. Well, everybody wants to hit again, man. We're trying to win. Winning isn't everything in softball to me, but I'm not trying to go out there and lose every game either. It's it's kind of one of those things, man. Like, until you've been there and done it, sometimes you just don't know when to step in. Like, my guy Junk, probably one of the quietest guys on Sonic's team. And I'm telling you, this man came into a dugout with nothing but tenacity one time. I mean, absolutely fired up. Came running in from the outfield, beat everybody to the gate of the dugout to stop and get everybody fired up. And man, I'm telling you, it worked. That's what I'm telling you. A leader doesn't have to be, the loudest guy on the team. A leader doesn't have to be the most experienced guy on the team. A leader doesn't have to be the quote-unquote best player on the team. Doesn't have to be the face of the team. It doesn't have to be anything but anybody that's been there and done it. And Junk's been there and done it. Junk's been on a lot of good teams. Junk's a great player. Junk's always had a great attitude. And that's what a leader is. Bottom line. Yeah, it was that game. We almost got CJ that day. But so real quick, couple stories here from the weekend, and then we'll bring in my guy Adam because so we'll remain anonymous and teams involved will not be named. But I heard a story over the weekend. There was a team that was a lower class than another team, and they had already been beaten twice that day. The lower class team had already lost twice by run rule already that day. Pool play in 4-team double elimination brackets, you end up seeing said team 2-3 times potentially. So the lower class team is matched up against by this team for a third time, and the pitcher observes what appears to be a cold softball. Like chili cold. Like, ooh, man, that's out of the cooler cold. And said pitcher just kind of giggles it off. I mean, they've already beat him twice. They're a lower class team. Let's just get this game over with. And then next thing you know, a 12-run inning happens. Infielders out here looking defenseless. Balls just getting ripped into gaps that would normally be caught. So at that point, you got a few options. The team that had the option to say something about the ball decided, you know what? Let's just swap the ball out. Let's swap the ball out. Make them hit a different ball and just not tell them. Because, what do you do? They can't get mad for hitting a different ball because they threw in a frozen ball. Same exact ball, same brand, same everything. So you head back out, and all of a sudden, the team that threw in the cold ball is no longer hitting, no longer scoring. They go 3 innings and score 1 run. And then the end of the game is coming up again, and the team with the pitcher says, with the pitcher that noticed the ball says, all right, so we got to throw this cold ball back in at some point. So, because if the game gets over with, we can't say, oh, hang on, let me go swap this ball out, or oh, we had a different ball the whole time. So you have to put the ball back in play. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, another big inning. Another 10-plus run inning. Almost 15 runs were scored in the inning. A grand slam by a guy that I'm fairly certain, according to the story and how it goes, hadn't had a hit in a very long time. Said man hits a grand slam in a big spot. Balls are blowing by infielders again. Balls are getting into gaps. Routine fly balls are getting down because they're no longer routine. They're 1 or 2 hopping the fence and that kind of thing. And then after the grand slam gets hit, the team throws in another ball that's just as cold as the first one that they'd been hitting. And at that point, what do? According to the story, the pitcher threw the ball to the catcher, expecting the catcher to maybe say something, because everybody in the pitcher's dugout was aware of what was happening. And I think the catcher just didn't want the confrontation, according to the story. So it was kind of a moot point at that point. And a few more runs got hung up, and the team that was hitting the frozen balls ended up winning. Mistakes were made on the part of the other team, the team that noticed the cold ball. Mistakes were made that definitely didn't help the situation, but to watch the life get fed into a team from basically hitting a golf ball was quite the story to hear. And it's a hindsight thing. Exactly what Snack said. It's a hindsight thing. The pitcher should have immediately said something right then and there, because there was no denying what was in the pitcher's hand. There's no denying it. The pitcher said that it was as cold as a beer that came out of the cooler. There's no denying that on an 80-degree day, what was going on there. So it's on the pitcher for not saying something in the moment, because you can't go complain about it after the game. I mean, that's like, in all honesty, that's like saying someone's using a shaved bat. You can run to a director or run to an umpire and say, hey, they're using a shaved bat. Well, how do you know? And how are you going to prove it? Same thing with kind of the ball thing. The pitcher should have, in that instant, instead of laughing it off and thinking you're going to win the game, the pitcher should have just said, hey, something ain't right here. Can you get me another one? And then it turns out the other one was also frozen as well, but hindsight. But it's a life lesson in this situation of don't always take everything for granted. Don't automatically think you're going to win. If you see something like that, say something. And kind of another funny story. So there was a team play, and I was watching a team play. And basically how the home run bans work this weekend is you got 3 home runs as a team, and then you got to buy 3 bands. And your bands are unlimited. Your bands are treated just like a DHH. If your band man walks, then the rest of the team has a free home run to use until that band gets back up again. So I'm watching this game, and the pitcher walks a band man. And the band man drops his bat, jogs to first base, and then the on-deck batter starts walking to the plate and hears somebody say something about a free home run. So the man that's walking to the plate stops dead in his tracks, turns and heads back to the dugout, and asks for a bat that had been in his bag all day. And I'm watching this game and watched that happen, and the pitcher watched it happen, and bases are loaded, and the pitcher made the executive decision to essentially just put the said batter on base and walk a run in, as opposed to giving up what potentially could have been a grand slam to who knows what. The pitcher said that, it could have been a situation where maybe that's just a bat they're more comfortable hitting a home run with. Who knows the situation? But that is going back to knowing your situation, kind of with the softball thing, like pay attention and observe things. Pay attention and observe. You could potentially give up 4 runs here if you get anything close to the plate. And also observe that you don't know what's going on. You don't know why that batter switched bats. But suspicion and experience would lead you to believe that that bat might be better than the rest of the ones in the dugout. But who knows? That's how the story goes. Know the situation. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And who knows? Maybe the bat was completely stocked. But I know the pitcher decided to walk a run in instead of giving up 4 just based on suspicion alone. And trust your gut sometimes. Who knows? Who knows what would have happened? But watching that unfold got rather interesting, because the batter's body language after getting walked on 3 straight pitches was not good. But the body language of the pitcher after watching a batter that's 4 steps from the box turn back and go get another bat also wasn't good. But enough of story time. Let's see what our guy, Fat Guy BP, is doing. I told him I'd bring him in 20 minutes in, and here I am sitting here with story time, 29 minutes into a podcast. So let's give my guy, Adam, a ring. I'm going to stop this terrible music that you all hate, because we don't need that, because we got my guy, Adam, to fill in the blanks, fill in the silence. we giving him a call.
Hello?
My guy.
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Good. First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah, something like that.
What I win?
Well, see, it's kind of funny you mentioned that. What did I win? Because like I said, I didn't want to get too far into that to get things started there. But I remember the very first time that I ever reviewed and raffled the bat off.
Yeah.
My man, Fat Guy BP, who we did not know at the time was going to be Fat Guy BP, won that raffle.
Exactly right. It was a Patriot, right?
That was Liberty, Worth Liberty,
Oh,
ASA Liberty.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. The ASA Liberty.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was supposed to be a Patriot, but that's a long story. Smash
Yeah.
Sports is terrible, whatever. Anyway. So, I thought it was kind of crazy. Like, I was looking back. I think you might have sent me a message about something with a YouTube video, and I remember kind of like looking back to the previous conversation. I thought, well, hell, this is the guy that won the bat. Now he's out here making YouTube videos. I thought that was kind of
cool. Yeah. I've worried you to death ever since.
Hey, you know what? I like it though. I like the interaction. I like the support for the community. You're always out there cranking out some good videos and stuff too. I thought it was kind of funny in your last video. You mentioned, sometimes you just get in that mode where you just go out there and you hit. Hell, you called in pizza to the ball field because you were out there for so long.
Oh man, I had never done that. Garrett, one of the guys with us, I think he was a little hungover, and he came from the lake to come hit with us, and we got that proton bat, and everybody was super excited to hit it because nobody's had a chance to put their hands on it yet.
Sure.
And he came out there and he was like, "I'm gonna order a pizza," and me and Ben looked at him like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He says, "What do y'all want?" He says, "Well, there's a deal. Let's order 2 pizzas." And next thing you know, man, we're eating pizza in the dugout. I've never done that before. And we had no napkins, no nothing. I mean, it was just...
I don't need it.
Yeah, went to town. It was fun.
Yeah. I've definitely left BP and grabbed some food before. You got a handful of guys there like, man, I don't do it so much anymore, but we used to. We'd go out and hit until our arms fell off.
Dude, that's what I've done for... I know I did it 2 days this weekend. We hit again Monday, and I'm telling you, man, last night we were supposed to hit again, and we got rained out, and I was so glad because I was so dragging. And I got so many reviews to do, but I was just like, man, I need a break, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been playing like a dual tournament or something.
See, that's funny you mentioned that. Like, man, sometimes like you get in that mode where, man, it's like you're getting content in, you're getting film in, you're getting everything else, and you get in that grind mode. And it's kind of hard to get out of it sometimes. And like you're saying, hitting 3 days in a week just to try and stay caught up. I've definitely been guilty of that.
Oh yeah, man, it's fun. I mean, last year was the first year I quit playing tournament ball, and it wasn't I quit. Our team kind of folded, and with the pandemic and all, it just kind of worked itself out. But I kind of like, I don't miss it so much because it just takes up my whole weekend. And
sure.
And I'm always come to work, Monday I'm like hungover from the weekend from ball, and then I don't know. I mean, I've gone to some tournaments and watched, and I go, ooh, I'm getting that itch again.
Yeah.
But then when I like start driving back and you make that long drive, I was like, nah, I said, so I love the BP, and I got these guys hitting with me, so it's kind of like having the guys around talking to kids and stuff like that. And I still play league and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not saying I won't play tournament ball, but we'll see.
No, I'm in the same boat with you, man. It's tournament ball is not always all it's hyped up to be. I've had a lot of fun, and I've made a lot of memories playing tournament ball, and I've played tournament ball pretty much my entire softball career. I think I started playing when I was 19 years old. I played one night. I played one night of league, and then I was at league that night. And I mean, it's just one of those things. Somebody was looking for bodies, like, "Hey, you doing anything this weekend?" I said no. And next thing you know, I'm playing a tournament, a half hour down the road, and what turned out to be, like, looking back on it now, it's like the most like podunk. Like, did anybody even know what softball was that day?
Yeah.
But we thought we were out there competing with the best.
Yeah, I remember the first time I even played softball. It was for a church, and
yeah, tell me about that. What got you into slow pitch?
Yeah, I got out there. It was through a church, local church that I wasn't even a member of, and went out there, man. We were playing, and it was a girl. Girls played out there, and or I guess you'd call it co-ed back then. But sitting there playing, and I hit one out, and I was like, hell yeah, this game's easy. And then the next pitch, man, the next time I come on the bat, I hit like an 18 hopper to the pitcher, and I cuss all the way to first. And the first base coach says, hey, you know we're playing church ball, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, crap. So I was like, but no, man, I don't know what got it, man. I know what it was. I had a buddy at work that worked with me, and I used to make fun of him for playing softball. And I was like, girls play that mess, dude. And he was like, you need to come out and play. And I was like, man, I don't know, man. And I came out, and then I was hooked. And then the rest is history. So I've sucked ever since. So.
Hey, you know, as long as you're enjoying yourself, man, that's all that freaking matters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've made a lot of friends playing ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. Like I've made guys between, like the softball fans days. I always talk about those on the podcast. Between the softball fans days and then just being on a bunch of different teams and just meeting all kinds of people from all different circles of life and kind of facets of life. And I mean, you meet a lot of people that you end up being friends with after softball's over, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've made a ton of friends. Made a few enemies, but I've made a ton of friends.
Yeah, if you haven't made enemies, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, I know. I ain't gonna lie, man. I can be a dick sometimes, but
hey, sometimes you gotta be.
Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta have that mode. If you play tournament ball, you gotta be able to be a dick sometimes. I mean, there just is it. We got some guys. There's a guy in particular in Big Bend, nicest, easygoing guy, and he just never turns that switch on. And I was like, man, and he's talking about playing tournament ball. And I was like, you know, you got to be a dick sometimes, right? And he's like, he doesn't get it. And he was like, yeah. And then we were playing league ball one night, and he got mad. He got a little fired up. And, dude, he hit just a missile off the light pole out in the thing. I said, I like seeing that. I said, but I never want to play against you. So I was like, God knows, dude, you scared the shit out of me. But, you know.
No, see, that's one thing that kind of comes with the territory of tournament ball as well. Is you know, so sometimes some people are out there just to be a dick. You know, it's
absolutely, man. The stories I can tell you.
Oh man, sometimes you don't get a choice.
Yeah, and I mean, when I was younger, I was such a jerk, man, and I drank like crazy. And then the last couple years that I played, the last 10 years I played with a ministry team, and it was refreshing. No drama. I mean, you'd have a little bit every once in a while, but nothing crazy.
Sure.
And teams took us well. There was people had a hard time believing I played with those guys. Because of the teams I played with previously.
Yeah.
But man, we were well received, and it was fun. But it was just no drama, man. And then when you would have like dudes being a peckerhead moment, you know, I handled them different. Whereas before, I was like, hey, you got a pitcher too. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, oh yeah.
And one guy, I can't remember, we were playing this team, man, and this dude hit one by our pitcher's head. And you remember the movie Waterboy where the guy's like, the big meanie or whatever, he's screaming, woo, woo. Well, that dude was like doing it all around the bases. And I was like, what the hell? You know, I was like, so I said something to him, but I wasn't mean. And I said, dude, what are you doing hitting at our pitcher and then running your mouth? And he looked at me and he says, you know, he's like, shut up, fat ass, go eat another cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, the joke's on you, dude. I don't like cheese. And I was like,
take that.
Yeah. I said, ha, fucker.
Yeah, see, that's kind of one of those things, like sometimes you're not left with a choice but to be an asshole to someone. And it's not that you take pride in it, but sometimes you just got to. And it's funny you talk about the church ball thing. It's like that's some of the most fun that I've ever had playing softball was with the church. You know, I used to go to church at a pretty large church here in town, and we had a group of guys. We were all kind of friends anyway, and realized we all went to church together at the same place. And one thing led to another, and here we are traveling the state for almost 2 years. I think we did it for 2 years. Basically taking this church route places and playing softball. And we went
awesome.
So they here in Missouri, they have basically an ASA church state tournament.
Yeah, we played in something like that too.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. That was a really cool environment to be a part of down there. You've got nothing but church guys, you know, none of them are, you know, out there telling people to go eat a cheeseburger and, and everything
Yeah.
else. Everybody's just out there for the same cause. Everybody's out there to play softball and enjoy it. Now, I will
Well,
say there was a group of shitheads that showed up one year, and it's kind of funny because they thought they were going to be sneaky and claimed to be part of a very large church. Because how it works here is that basically the preacher of the church had to sign off on the roster, saying, "Hey,
same here.
saying, hey, these people go to church." What was a church of like 5,000 people? So you can't keep track of everybody that goes to church with 5,000 people, So the roster gets signed off on, and this team shows up. They're out there cussing and yelling and throwing stuff around and drinking in the parking lot, and but who are you to say something? I mean, it's a Christian thing. It's not your job to judge. But it was very clear what was happening. They had all showed up to try and sandbag a tournament, and they ended up losing.
Oh wow! So we will play. Now we played as the team I was called. We were called Romans 12, and we played open ball. Like we would go play E and E tournaments and stuff like that. Every once in a while, slide in. Maybe every once in a while, play some G. But we did play in the church state, church worlds and stuff like that. But man, it got toward the end. So we were labeled a ministry. So they would classify you, and we ended up playing like conference guys. And,
really?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, when we had our battles, and I won't say any names, but they were some jerks, and I was like, we knew well that these guys were not involved in that church, but hey, it was what it was.
Sure.
But I mean, we had a pretty competitive team. Most people knew us around and stuff, and we had like 2 guys on our team that were like big time home run power guys, and everybody used to come watch them hit sometimes and stuff. But yeah, man, I've been through some softball.
Yeah. So what you talking about? That you talking about playing softball for all them years? Like, what is your favorite slow pitch moment? Like the one that like stands out to you the most?
Oh man,
story time, right?
Yeah, I could say like my first tournament winning that, but that was so long ago. Playing in Disney was probably the funnest. We got to actually play in the stadium in the Worlds, and that was super fun. And by the way, I'm undefeated on this Disney field to this day. But
what? No
fun.
way.
Yeah, man. We had a blast on it. I don't know how we got it. We kind of looked up, and out of the draw, they would put some of the E teams in there and the E Worlds, and we get to play in the stadium.
Uh-huh.
So it was really cool and stuff. Of course, we didn't play. They would bring in the 300-foot fences, but it was really cool. I mean, it was just fun. It was just like you felt more like because all the teams would come watch in the stadium and fill up the stadium because they were watching in between.
Sure.
You just kind of felt like you were on stage almost. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to be like the spectacle of things like that sometimes. That's really cool too. That's always on my bucket list is to go down and play at the stadium. So the fact that you got to play there and you're undefeated on top of that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it was just fun, man. I mean, just the whole atmosphere. I mean, you were a little jacked more than normal. So.
Sure.
I mean, it was a world, but my later years, man, I was just really laid back, but that kind of got you going. Sure.
No, that's kind of cool. You talk about like the stadium being like the spectacle and like it's what everybody's there for. So we play. My wife we're in a very rural area where we're at here in Missouri. Like I'm in a town of like 13,000 people, and then we've got Columbia, Missouri, which is I want to say close to 200,000. And then you've got to drive almost 2 hours to get to a town that's even remotely as big as Columbia. So we're in a very rural area, and my wife is from a farm town, and they have basically a softball league on Sundays, and that's kind of just what people do. Like, hey, see you at softball on Sunday, and they don't mean they're playing; they're just going. I mean, they have it there at the high school baseball field, and the very first time I ever went, I'm thinking like, oh, whatever, I'm going to go here and BFE and play some softball, and I show up, and hell, there's damn near 200 people there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean it was crazy. It was kind of cool, like you said. I mean people, old, young, whatever else, just coming and sitting and watching the games, and better way to pass a summer Sunday, I suppose. But it was just really cool, to be the kind of the spectacle of the town, you might say.
Yeah, that's fun, man. That would. We just started one last weekend, but it is nothing like that. I mean, we couldn't even get players there, but we try to start a Sunday draft league, and
that
guys
would be fun.
And girls. Yeah, so we're playing mat ball because we didn't want to hire umpires.
Sure.
And we put up a screen, and we were only using 52 balls, but you can use whatever bat you want. But I mean, we're starting that, but man, something like that would be fun, especially with the town. I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, so I really like the idea of the 52 ball there. I mean, it kind of lets you use whatever bat you want and kind of lets you get away with that thing. So that's cool. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys that plays in our regular league, he came up with the idea, and I think it was my idea to do the mat and the screen because I said I just think it's safer. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the 52 balls, they got some bounce to them, but man, if you get hit by one of them, it's a lot nicer than them other balls. I'll tell you.
Yeah, everybody says, a ball's a ball, you get hit with and everything else, but I'm telling you, until you've worn a softball off of your knee or off your leg with a classic aim and then you get hit with a 52, I'd take 5 52s before I took one classic aim to the leg.
Oh, absolutely, especially the shin. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
So you talk about, I'm going to pull something up here on the feed here for the gang here. So you talk about, let's see if I can get it. There we go. So super draft and doing that kind of thing. So it's really cool. This picture here that I've got up on the screen right now is from this past week. So a young lady decided, hey, you know what? Like, let's do a women's league, super draft type of thing. And they ended up having 24 people come out. I mean,
oh, wow.
Basically just like drew numbers. I say 24 people, 24 women on top of that. Everybody basically just drew numbers, and literally it was just random teams go out and play a handful of games and call it a night. But I thought that was super cool to have that kind of a turnout for something like that. It is really freaking cool.
Yeah, because women are so hard to get. Even in for co-ed, you can't get girls out there for anything, man.
Yeah. The fact that they were able to pull that many and do something like that, I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, co-ed can be. I remember the first couple of times I played co-ed, I wasn't all big about it, but man, I played in some serious competitive co-ed leagues, and I'm like, wow. There was a girl. You would play 2 games on Sunday, and there was a girl. She was hot, man. She was just God, and she could crush the ball, right? And she played college softball. Her dad was like a big coach in our school, man. And then we'd go in between games, and we'd had like sit a game or something, and then she'd come out there and she'd start drinking beer and like sit down with us and talk with us. And I was like, I tell you, girl, if you got beer flavored nipples, I'd marry you right now.
Quit it.
She was tough, son. I'm telling you.
That's so funny. It's always funny when like a good looking gal can be good at softball. It's like she goes from an 8 to like a 14.
Absolutely, man.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
We could go look at softball bats together or something,
Yeah, right. Yeah, go take in a game or two, or I mean, you got an hour break. What are you supposed to go do, right?
Yeah. So I mean, because I kind of used to turn my nose up at co-ed, and then I started playing it. Man, it's cool. I mean, it's fun, man. And
yeah,
like I said, but I've seen how hard it is to get girls, but get that many for a number, man. That's strong.
Yeah, it was very impressive. I was very impressed to see that. Hopefully, they keep that up. So the women's game is actually taking off around here. There's in the area itself, I want to say there's at least 3 or 4 women's teams that play on a fairly consistent basis. So that's kind of cool, and I think that that stuff like this is going to help with that as well.
Yeah, that would, man. We used to have. It was years ago before our when our women were strong. We had about 3 or 4 that were strong, and they would play almost what you would call conference ball today, but man, you don't see any of it around here now. I don't know why, but you just don't see a lot.
Seems like it kind of comes and goes a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So you've been playing the game for a minute. What is your like most favorite bat? Like if you had to pick one bat to swing for the rest of forever, what bat are you swinging?
Well, the ball we use the JH 120, easy.
Ooh, that was a quick answer.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite bats of all time. I was a big PST guy, but then when we switched over, it's hard to go back. So. But that Jeff Hall was nasty. The red and blue one with the royal blue.
Yeah, we start swinging it till it gets a little bit of a rattle going to it. Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, dude! You start seeing the white stuff underneath the paint, and you're like, we're at another gear now.
Oh yeah. We had one. I bet it probably had a good 3 or 4 inches worn off the end of it from being thrown around and used for so many years, and it sounded like a rain stick. Sounded like an absolute rain stick.
Absolutely. That was back when people actually broke their bats in. Yeah.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. But it was back when like you had a team bat. It wasn't like the joke these days is team bat is everybody swinging the shave bat, but team bat used to mean literally the team had one or two bats, and when you would go hit, you would do that thing where you would go hit for hours on end, and everybody swings the same damn bat, and then you show up at league and everybody swings the same damn bat. You do it for 2 or 3 years, next thing you know, you've got just a bazooka of a bat on your hands.
You're absolutely right, man. I mean, you'd always see that in league ball, not so much tournament ball, but you would have that team bat, and man, oh yeah, you're right though. That was back in the good old days.
Yeah, it's half the fun of, hey man, got this sucker, I'm gonna break it in, we're gonna put 500 swings on it, and it's gonna feel good today. And looking back on that bat that had 500 swings on it, if I had to swing it today compared to some of the stuff that we've got now, I would laugh if I tried gaming a bat like that with 500 swings on it.
Oh, I know. And I was hoping these new 240 bats would be like that. But hell, man, they're failing compression left and right.
So what of the 240 bats have you swung? Have you messed with very many? I know you swung the Proton. You guys need to go check out his review on the Proton. I thought that was a pretty cool review.
Man, I have swung a ton. To say which one would be my favorite though, that's hard to do because, man, it depends on what my swing's like that week.
Sure.
I like the Freak 9R. I really like that bat.
I've got one of those coming.
I swung this the other day. The Protons are a great bat. Anything DeMarini's good. I wasn't big on the Easton. There's another company I'm not gonna mention because I just did not like it. But the One Piece Anarchy, I got to try that the other day.
Okay.
Wow, that was fun. The Anarchy stuff is hot. It's not like the Anarchy stuff where you had that flimsy handle.
Yeah.
Dude, these things are ridiculous. They're not. I don't think they'll pass compression, but for us, who cares? I mean,
sure, yeah.
But those bats, to me, these are hotter than their 220 bats.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. I mean, and I hit the purple One Piece. Garrett, who hits what he bought one, and we hit it, and I'm still editing the footage on that. But man, that bat was stupid. Trying to think what else I've hit. The DeMarinis, man, they take a while to get there, but once they're there,
oh
man. And the thing that's great about the DeMarinis is they don't get that crack, that horizontal crack you get, that line or whatever, that spiraling, that comes on the side. You don't get that, so they're lasting longer. I'm trying to think what else. I hit the new Onyx. I've only put like 60, 70 swings on that. The Matrix.
Uh-huh.
That's a good bat. It's hotter out of the wrapper than I thought it would be.
I wondered if Onyx was going to try and dabble into the 240 stuff. I had heard that they weren't, and they were going to try and transition over to ASA, but it sounds like they might be getting in the 240 game after all.
Well, they are. They've got 3 coming out. The Mac Rio, which is a red and white bat. Good guy, by the way. And they got one called the Bomber and something called the Matrix. Their ASA stuff has not been approved yet. It's not been approved, but they're in the process. It takes a while. So.
Sure.
But I've talked to those guys a lot and stuff. But yeah, I mean those things are, man, the 240 stuff. Because I remember having I messaged you back and forth, and I said, why would guys want to mess around with the 220 bats? And I did not think anybody would do it. Because I was like, hey, we still get to swing the 220. Why would we even mess around with 240?
Right.
And you told me, he said, dude, everybody wants to try the new shiny thing. And I was like, man, there ain't no way. No, because I disagreed with it. I was like, no, there ain't no way. And damn, dude, if I ain't tried every damn thing I could get my hands on.
Yeah, crazy how that works, isn't it?
No, yeah. I mean, there's not enough bats in this world. I mean, I don't know. I mean, bats are, I don't know. They're fun. It's just so fun to try all the different ones out.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun swinging the 240s. The one thing that I have noticed with the 240s is more than anything, is like, it's just got to make you earn your hits. Like, yeah, it's not going to perform like a 220 for a while. You'll get it broke in. It's like that's the thing that I think is a kind of a common misconception is a 220 bat at some point tested 240 and you still swung it in a game. Everybody thinks, the 220 bats were so much better, but so many people still got in a batter's box with a 220 bat that tested 260. It's no different.
Yeah, one of the guys that hits with me in the video, he games 240 bats. Garrett, he games the Anarchy bat, and he absolutely loves it. And that Freak 9R, I would put up there with any 220 bat out there, or even the DeMarini DB44. I mean, to me, I would hit those, man. And we've hit Classic M's with them, and I'm put it this way: the Pro M balls to me suck. I mean, I don't know what it is, but we've hit a ton of the Pro M balls and the Dudley Pro M's, and I'm not trying to knock Dudley, but dude, it just seems like it's just not a 44 375 ball. Maybe I need to try a different brand and see something, but I talked to 3 different bat manufacturers, and I asked them. I said, hey, and they it either came up, they brought it up, or I brought it up, but they said that USSSA made it really strict this year about the ball. They said, yeah, we're going to 44 375, but they really restricted the ball. Like, hey, just don't send something from China and put a stamp on it. Hey, it's a Pro M. But so we're we hit Classic M's and Pro M's in the truck, and I do have some Icons. And man, I'll tell you, it seems like I can hit Classic M's further or harder than the Pro M's half the time.
See, and that's interesting. Maybe it's just a mentality thing. Maybe it's just because it's new. I don't know. But Brian, my PP partner, Brian and I absolutely love hitting the Pro M's.
Yeah. Oh, they're fun to hit. Absolutely. I went and bought a ton of them, and they're not old as well. So I just want to, point that out because they're not old. But I mean, but every once in a while I'll get some Classic M's if I find a good deal on them or something. Because I mean, for doing bat reviews, there's never enough balls.
No.
And so you know that of all people. And yeah, man, I just seem like they definitely seem lighter. I'll put it that way. Because like if you put them on the machine, the pitching machine, you can tell the different arc when you're pitching them and stuff. So you can definitely tell the arc on them and stuff.
Come in a little bit deeper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But and balls are expensive,
dude. I mean, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and and when you talk to the manufacturers or the reps and stuff like that, man, they'll tell you there's no money to be made off balls, and when they do put money, you're paying mostly shipping. So
yeah, and that's one thing I've been very, 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 I say very with emphasis, very lucky to be in good graces with Evil Sports for all these years. They've helped me out a ton with softballs and that kind of thing. Because, dude, it adds up, and it adds up extremely fast. But a lot of people always ask, because I'm always promoting Evil, and they take care of me, so I do the same for them. And people are always asking, what kind of discount can I get on softballs? And it's just what you said. I mean, there's not much room for markup. I think people kind of think, I'm trying to make money off of them is what the deal is. But there's just not a lot of money to be made in softballs, so he can't be giving out a ton of discounts, or he's not making any money,
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you're always losing balls.
Yep.
If you hit one off the fence or you cut it, it's, and then when you do find it out in the woods, it's waterlogged or something. So
yeah. How many times have you been out and found your own softball like a week later?
Oh, absolutely, man. We hit it the same field, and they won't trim up behind the field out there, and that's how all the ASA balls get put in my U-Trip bag, because I'm picking up ASA balls for the night before we did ASA review.
Right.
So, but yeah. Well, how'd you get into doing reviews, Jesse?
So it all kind of happened with back in the softball fans days, and I always talk about that stuff all the time. You guys are probably tired of hearing about it, but it's kind of what made what we're sitting here doing today. I was trying to get some help with my swing. My swing was terrible, still not good, but it used to be terrible. And I was just taking some video, trying to get somebody to help me with my swing, do this or do that, whatever kind of thing. And I would be swinging a different bat every time I was doing the video, because, I had a bunch of bats. I used to be a bat whore. So, always had a bunch of bats. And somebody asked, well, hey, what about that bat laying there next to you? Like, did you ever swing it? Swing it next time. And then I'll make some changes to my swing and post another video swinging that bat. And somebody asked, well, what about this combat? So I'd swing it next time. Next thing you know, I'm out here not even trying to work on my swing. I'm out here hitting these bats because people want to see these videos. And man,
wow.
We 6 years later, here we are, sitting here talking.
BP Heroes.
Yeah, sitting here talking on a podcast about softball with my man Adam.
Yeah. I tell you, man, I didn't want to do it for the longest time. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just like, I would go and watch your reviews, and I would see sometimes some negative comments and stuff. And then I started posting stuff on YouTube, and some people were just, they give you hell, dude.
Oh, yeah, screw them.
And then I was like, what the hell? I was like, screw this. I'm gonna do it. Because I love trying all the different bats out.
Mm-hmm.
And people always would hit me up for a bat. Hey man, what's the best thing out? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So then I was like, what's the one thing that everybody's gonna say about me? And say, I got a shitty swing. I'm fat. I said, well, fat guy BP it is. And then, hey, there we go. And then just started doing it. And I tell people, man, I said, yeah, I suck. So, all right, you got me. So
Yeah,
there you
right.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's people are, this dude's swing is trash or whatever else. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in. You stayed long enough to see that. Joke's on you.
Exactly. And I don't take myself that serious. So, I mean, I try to, and I mean, man, it's fun. I've met a ton of people. And, I mean, dude, you have helped me out in so many ways. And I've worried Jesse to death behind the scenes. And Jesse's helped me out in so many ways because he's given me a helping hand. Where some guys would be like, screw that dude, man. He's trying to, take away some of my thunder. And Jesse was never that way. And, I mean, it was cool. I mean, it's really cool and it's refreshing because, I mean, you worry about that stuff. And I've seen, man, everybody and his brother's starting to do reviews now.
Sure.
And everybody's like, they'll ask me and they say, are you worried about him? I was like, no, dude. It's like Jesse pointed it out one time. He said, more the people is better because our niche is so small.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, two, I said, man, if they can get over the hump, I said, because it's hard to get your numbers up, and it's not easy, and it's work, man. You got to stay with it, and just because you got a great swing, don't mean that you're gonna be good at this or something. And I'm not saying that I'm good at this, but you just gotta stay with it, and I don't know, man. And then you learn, and you're going to make mistakes. Because, man, I go back and watch my previous videos, and I just cringe. I'm
yeah.
Oh, my God. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those podcasts where I just kind of go back and look through some of my old videos. I'm like, I posted this?
Yeah, I know.
Should I delete it?
I know, man. It's crazy. And I've said I've watched some of the stuff you did in the previous years and stuff. And I remember I think the first video I ever watched you do was where you built that tee that time, and you filmed that building that tee, and I was like, who's this goofball?
Oh, yeah.
Watching it, yeah, and I was like, watching you build that tee in your garage or something, I think.
Brutal. That was a brutal video.
Yeah, but that was I think the very first one I ever saw, and I think that was all. It was all softball fans, I believe.
Yeah, I think because I had it was back. The other thing, like I was doing tee work and that kind of thing, working on my swing, and everybody's like, well, how'd you build your tee? How'd you build your tee? So I was like, all right, well, let's just make a video about it. So
man.
It's kind of cool though. I mean, like I liked taking you in, kind of taking you under my wing a little bit and helping you out, and we gotta like you said, we're a small community. We gotta try and help out all these content creators everywhere we can, and you get some guys like you said, you gotta stick with it. You gotta be willing to stick with it. You gotta do it because you want to. I think some of these guys are kind of showing up in the bat review world, just looking for clout, looking for money, because everybody hears about all the money you make on YouTube. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna be a long time before you see any kind of money we're talking about.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you don't make nothing. And
no.
I mean, my numbers are small, but like years ago, you could make money off YouTube, and it's gotten so restricted now you can't do anything. Plus, our niche is so small that we're not gonna be. I mean, what Will and them guys are the biggest guys out there on softball, and I mean, what Will's doing is unheard of.
Sure.
I mean, them dudes hit the crap out of the ball. I mean, they started out in baseball, and but yeah, I mean,
to my knowledge, he is the only guy that has legitimately. I mean, he's a full-time YouTuber now. He quit his job.
Yeah.
He's a full-time YouTuber. To my knowledge, he is the only full-time YouTuber that has anything to do with any kind of diamond sports, and it's impressive to see. His baseball channel grow the way it has. It's nuts. Last I looked, he was almost up to 200,000 subscribers, and his slow pitch channel is growing. Just I wouldn't say as fast. But slow pitch, you got to think like there's so many kids that sit around with their phones in their hands watching YouTube and all that stuff. So I mean, you're going to pull in a ton of subscribers from that. But his slow pitch channel is still growing. It's still growing at a very good rate for the slow pitch community. It's impressive to see.
Yeah, because I mean he blew up big time, and I mean I get it, man, and I mean I subscribe and I watch everybody, and
we have to support each other.
exactly. And then, dude, I learn stuff from guys. And I say I like what he did there, and then I'll sit there and say no, I don't like that. But I said, but I'm learning from it, or I might copy something he might or something. And I've seen dudes, copy stuff I've done,
Sure.
and but I mean, and it's like at first you'd be like, damn, that sucker stole my idea, and then I go, cool. I mean, because I was like, you think about it. I mean, if somebody's imitating something you do, man, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
So,
You were the influence for an idea.
Yeah, so you gotta stay positive.
100%.
I mean, that's what. Yeah, so it is what it is. But,
and that's you talk about like we all kind of got to help each other out here. We're a very small community, and I've had people reach out to me. Hey, I'm starting a slow pitch channel, and I'm going to do bat reviews like you, and will you promote me and this, that, and whatever else, and like I'm not just going to go out and promote just anybody. And I know like I want to see my community grow and everything else, but I'm not just going to go out and promote just anybody and everybody. I've had several people, say that I'm doing bat reviews now. I'm going to be just like you, and they do 3 videos and then you never hear anything out of them again.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I feel like some guys just feel like they're going to blow up overnight. And man, that's what I explain to them when they hit me up, and I say, dude, you got to put in the work. I mean, it's a lot of work. And I said, put your own niche to it, put your own little thing to it. But I said, just being. I said, here's how I look at it, and I say this: guys come to me because they're going to take their hard-earned money and buy a bat, and they want my opinion on it, and I want to give them as much information. Yes, I'm a positive person. I may be too positive about my bat reviews, but I mean, dude, all bats are hot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
100%.
really hard to find a shitty bat, but. I mean, some bats just don't fit some guys' swings, but I just tell guys, man, that hit me up and stuff, and I say, I said, don't only reach out to me, reach out to other guys. And sometimes guys, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have some people send me bats and stuff, and guys think, hey, if I get 50 subscribers, people gonna start sending me bats. Well, it don't work that way, man. I mean, you got to build relationships. You got to build your channel. You got to do some stuff, man, and it just don't happen overnight and stuff. And,
no, and that's my hesitation with doing stuff like that is I want to see, like, are you really committed to doing this? Like, if you are, and I see like consistent content, or I really see you out here grinding. I'm willing to give you a shot and give you a little shout out and give you a little love here and there. But for the guy that makes 1 or 2 videos and you never hear anything out of him again, it's not because I didn't promote him. It's because he wasn't committed.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I've had some guy who's a guy, see me, the Swing Kings guys. They're on Instagram, and they hit me up, and he was just asking me how I got on my bats. I said, dude, I buy them most of the time.
Yep.
But I mean, he's got some great content, and the dude's got that killer left-handed swing. So if you're ever on Instagram, guys, go check him out. He's cool. That's like a Swing Kings TV or something like that.
Is he on YouTube at all?
I don't think he's there yet. He's kind of doing stuff on Instagram, because the first thing I noticed on him, he has music on his stuff, and I said, dude, they're going to, YouTube will knock that stuff out. And because I did those those hit tracks leagues, and dude was playing music in the background, and I mean, I hated to have to go tell him to turn his music off. I was like, man, but so if I put this stuff on YouTube, it's just not gonna let me air it, man. I was like, sure. They're going, so. And but yeah, I learned that firsthand. I think I even hit you up about it, ask your opinion on it, how to do it and stuff. And I think I even muted some of the videos or something. So. Yeah,
it just sucks though in general. But
yeah,
what do you do?
I get it, man. I mean, my thing is I get the music people. I mean, I don't know if it's the actual artist or something that are so damn greedy, or if it's just the music companies, but I'll be like, man, if I saw a video and I heard a song and I was like, man, what's that song? I like that song. I'm going to go buy it and download it.
Right.
I would think that, but not to say, oh, he's stealing our music and using it in his video. Well, dude, he's still got to record it or have it somewhere so he can listen to it again.
Correct.
Yeah. But whatever. It's all about money.
Yeah. So you talk about like, editing and doing that kind of thing sometimes. So I had a guy ask here in the comment section. He says, can you guys discuss the editing of BP during bat reviews? From my perspective, it would be more interesting to see different hits, but it often looks like the same hit over and over. What's your thoughts? So you go first and I'll weigh in afterwards.
I've tried. Well, first thing it is I got terrible equipment. But dude, y'all know the batting tee that you built that time.
Yeah.
That is my tripod. No lie.
Oh, quit.
With a pool noodle. So, but that's my. But I did start doing this where I started trying to show all the guys hit pull swings, all the guys hit middle swings, and then all the guys hit backside shots. And because I want you to see different angles.
Sure.
It doesn't always work. Some of the guys just don't hit backside well. And sometimes we just can't get the pitching right to do it. I want to do that more often, but I mean, I get it. I understand seeing so many of the same swings, but I don't want to turn to a channel 2 and just see home runs. That's me. Of course, I can't hit home runs anymore, but I mean, I just don't want to see that. But I want to see a guy spray it around. I mean, I feel like if you see a low line drive and see the exit speed off a bat with a low line drive, I feel like I can judge a bat by that more so than watching home runs. That's just me. But I get it. I mean, sometimes you say, same old pool shot again.
Yeah. And I totally get where he's coming from. But that's kind of, I mean, I'm with you though. Like to me, the guys that get the home runs and stand there and do it like toot my own horn, but I could stand there and hit home runs on a 300-foot fence, a good number of swings as well. But to me, that's just not what a review is. A review is not how far can you hit a ball and how many times can you do it. Like to me, that doesn't tell me anything. I take the approach of BP when I'm doing a round of batting practice. I'm going to take that round of batting practice just like I would if I was swinging my gamer. And what did this bat do for me that this one didn't? What did the Mikan do for me that the Worth didn't? What did the Pure do for me that the DeMarini didn't? In comparing that in that aspect and that terms of things, home runs still happen in the videos, and that's completely fine. But I'm not up there just trying to hit one home run after another, after another, after another. Because to me, it just like he said, I mean, it's like watching the same hit over and over. Well, watching that home run after home run is the same thing. I'm taking into consideration with my review what the bat allows me to do, what I can do with that bat compared to another bat. And to me, it gives you a way more broad spectrum of what the bat might be capable of and give everybody a general idea. Like maybe somebody's a base hitter and they're looking for a base hit bat. Well, if I go up here and swing a bat and hit a bunch of home runs, he's going to say, well, that bat's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, so I cut out like a dude loading the machine. I cut out my bad swings. Who wants to see that? I mean,
sure.
Unless you do, I mean, I get it. But I'll tell you this too. I'm open-minded. I'll listen to suggestions. I'll say, hey, if I've asked multiple times, hey, if you got a better idea, give it to me, man. I'll run with it. I mean,
sure.
I'm open-minded to it because I'm always looking to improve. I ask the guys all the time, and the one thing that guys always push me to do that I don't like doing, not necessarily for editing, is guys always want me to do like a top 10 list, and I just don't want to do it. And I just feel like I said, that's Jesse's thing, and Jesse's good at it. And I said, we might do like everybody hits me up on, hey, what's your favorite bat? Man, it depends where my swing's at the moment. And I go through so many damn bats that, dude, it's hard to keep up with what my favorite bat is at the time. I'll tell you what's hot, and I'll say, hey, do you like a one piece? Do you like short barrel, long barrel, whatever? Yeah. And depends on where I'm at because my swing sucks. It changes all the time, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not my thing. Yeah, I do know what a hot bat is. I mean, I'll sit there and say, all right, this is performing. Even this is not what I would gain, but this is performing better than most other bats.
Sure, and it's
and stuff.
I can tell by people's responses. When you get the person that says, "What's the hottest bat this year?" and what's your top 3 bats? What's your top 5 bats? And I'll give the response of, man, really, it'd be easier to make a list of bats that weren't good.
Yeah.
It genuinely would be easier to make a list of bats that I thought, well, this thing freaking sucks. And it would be easier to do something like that than it would be to try and list every bat that's good. Or, somebody will say, hey, what's the hottest bat this year? And I'll say, what do you usually swing? I can kind of make a suggestion around that. I just want the hottest bat.
Yeah.
Like, what are you swinging now? Like I always try and base my suggestion off of maybe like, it's really helpful when somebody's like, hey, what's the best balance bat this year? I got to say, oh, what's this bat? I really enjoyed hitting this bat. Or, somebody says, I'm looking to hit for distance. Like, that's also another kind of cliche thing and somewhat subjective, but for the most part, your inloads are going to be for your distance type stuff. And I can even make a suggestion based on that. But when someone just gives the generalized statement of, I just want a hot bat, I don't care what it is, and when I say it'd be easier to make a list of bats that sucked, okay, thanks. Like, no, I'll give you some suggestions, but for me to say this bat and this bat only, I feel like just isn't the right thing to do. Because what if that person has swung balanced bats all their life, and now they run out and buy an inload and they hate it because of what I told them?
Exactly. I mean, and that's kind of like why we do what we do. You want people to turn to us for range, but I would say, hey, man, what fits your swing? I mean, let me ask you this question. I had this happen to me last year. So, bought a bat, conference player bat, guy's signature bat. And I bought this myself. And I became decent friends with this person. Bat came out, and I absolutely hated it. I mean, I just didn't like it. And I was like, man, I messaged him. I said, dude, I kind of get the technology. It's okay. I just don't like your bat. And he said, you going to be mad at me? He said, dude, go with it. He was kind of like, it's sold out. So what the hell I got to lose? And I didn't trash it. I just said, it was the waiting. The waiting was just horrible. Yeah. And it's hard sometimes, man. If you get a bad weighted bat, it's hard to swing. But
no, and that's part of what goes into the review, not just how far can a bat hit a ball.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to actually, we talked back and forth on social media, for a while, and we even texted back and forth and stuff. And dude, he was so cool about it. And then I got to meet him down in Myrtle Beach, and just coolest dude ever. I mean, and it's what's cool. I mean, and I'm just curious if you ever had that happen to you or something, or some like a company sends you a bat and you're like, oh my God, it's that shit.
So I've had a couple of situations where I had a company reach out to me and say, hey, we're thinking about making bats. Can I send you this bat and let you try it out and see what you think? And I had that happen. I never posted it because it didn't come to fruition, and I didn't want to just completely slander what they had sent me in case they did decide to, try and make it. But it was kind of one of those deals where they sent the bat and I swung it, and I was just kind of like, man, this thing I'm not sure this is it. So I swung it some more, and they were like, hey, you almost done with the bat? You almost done with the bat? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting there. And I didn't have the heart to say, man, this thing sucks. And finally they were like, I beat it to death. Like, I usually give a bat, 100, maybe 150 swings tops. And I was up to like 400 swings on this thing. And finally he asked, he's like, so we're going to need that back. Are you almost done with it? And I said, look, this thing is not good. And I sent him a video of just a couple of bats from the last year, and said, hey, look, this is what is coming out, and this is what you sent me. And even sent a video of swinging them side by side and said, look, I really appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the fact that you valued my input. And I know your intention here was to try and get a little bit of hype started and do that kind of thing, but this just is not it. And I would feel bad if I told you this thing was good and you order a bunch and turns out it's not.
And you can't sell them.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that would suck, dude.
Yeah, it just kind of goes against what I stand for in a way. Like I being honest and unbiased. Like I had a bat company reach out to me earlier this week saying, hey, we're new on the scene. We want to send you some bats, and where can we send them to? And I said, hey, look, you can send them here, but I just want to let you know now. I said, I'm honest, I'm unbiased, and if something's not good or if something kind of stands out that's not normal, I'm going to point it out. I'm not going to slander it, but I will mention it. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Just let me know where to send them. And if they're upset with the review and what I've done with it, I can't really do nothing for you after that.
Yeah, I saw a video. Someone do a review. I'm not gonna mention the channel, and the bat was sent to them. And I told my buddy, I said, if they like this bat, I will never watch their channel again. I was like, I just can't do it. And
dude, you kill me sometimes.
Yeah. And he goes, so the video comes out, and I never got a chance to watch it. And then I finally watched it, and I said, okay, they were the nicest guys about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to mention the bat, not going to mention the group or whatever, but I said, okay, there's just mad respect for them because they handled it well. And I saw another bat channel or a bat review channel do another bat, and dude, they shit all over this bat, and they thought it was bad. They handled it poorly, and I was just like, oh my god, dude, what are you thinking? I was like, nobody's ever gonna send you a bat again.
Yeah.
To even review, man, I'm just like, but hey, that is what it is.
So, and
I was like, I don't know, man, it's crazy, but
so my thing with doing things like that is, you know, like somebody's gracious enough to send me something. I've even had it happen with like subscriber bats. You know, people are excited, like, oh, I can't wait to see you swing in and that kind of thing. But sometimes you just gotta say, hey man, look, this just ain't the play. And that's where I always kind of take the opportunity to like maybe do the good with the bat. I didn't enjoy this bat, but if you enjoy this, you might like this, or here's some good things about it, but the negatives stuck out more to me, and here's what they are. You got several different ways you can skin that cat, you might say.
Oh, you're absolutely. There's a way to handle things, and I mean, I've just seen guys. I learned from it. I mean,
yeah, right.
You know, but yeah, there's just a way to handle things and stuff, man. And you just sometimes I'm just like, oh crap, you cringe. You're like, dude, you feel for the guy. You're like, what are you thinking, knucklehead?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, but hey, I have another question for you.
Yeah. Shoot.
Shit, what was it? One thing I was going to ask you about the game. What would you change about the game today? Not that, you know, you got to reinvent the wheel or anything. But.
No, yeah. So I actually like this question because I've talked about this in a couple of different episodes of the podcast. Like if I was going to make my own sanction, what would it be? And like it would be based around kind of swinging whatever bat you want and hitting at 52. And doing that kind of thing, but I could tell you that after swinging these 240 bats, like I'm all in on the 240 bats.
Yeah.
So the 240 bats are part of the game right now. So like if I'm talking like right now, what's one thing I'm changing? If we're talking like general rules, I think that run spots and home run rules need to be addressed. But if we're talking like general, could take it across any field of play type stuff, I'd like to see the bases move back. That's going to put me at a disadvantage. But I think the game, it's slow pitch softball, it's underhand. You know, we can whack them and hit them wherever we want. But I like to see more of the defensive side of things out of the game. The 240 bats are definitely doing that, and it's a good thing. A good hitter can still hit.
Well, don't they play the bases back in conference, don't they?
At some events, yes. I don't know about all of them, but I know at some of them they do. Prime example, like I would like to see the bases at 80 feet.
Yeah. I noticed that I'm playing in a different town league or whatever in league ball, and their bases are further back. And I'm a fat guy, so I noticed this shit. And I was just like, holy cow, dude, these are long. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And, it was about 10 years ago. I played. My buddy played something like 30 or 40 and older, 30 and older baseball or something. And he called me up and he said, "Hey man, we ain't got but 8. I need you to come up here and play baseball." I said, "Dude, I haven't played baseball since I was in high school. I don't want to play." He said, "Dude, we need you. Come on and play." And I was like, "All right, whatever." So I show up, and dude, first at bat, dude throws me a slider, and this dude used to play minor league baseball. I buckle at the knees. I was like, "Oh my god." And then he throws me something slow, like an off-speed pitch, and I hit it backside, and I was like, and it was through the 3-4 hole, and I was like, I got on. I was like, holy shit, my first at bat, I got a hit. And I take off running, and I'm like, where the hell is first base? And I was like, keep going, fat ass. And I was like, But yeah, man, I can see the bases being longer. Yeah, it would definitely be different because I noticed that in the league, it might be 5 feet longer or so in the league, the separate league that I play in. But I noticed it, and like, so the holes on the infield seem like they close up. Like it
Yeah.
just, I mean, it really does to me. It just seems like the infield closes up because like I'll sit there and try to paint the line at third base sometimes, and I was like looking at it and I was like, I can't really do it, is because you really got to keep it. You can't hit it that angle like I would normally hit. And I noticed the holes were on the infield were just much smaller. And they were playing straight up. They weren't even playing 5-man. So
see, and that's one thing you always notice. Watching if you get on Facebook sometime and you watch like the conference live feeds when they're down there playing in the stadiums, you've always got these guys suck or steroids or you always got people saying dumb shit. So you always get those people in there. Well, I can fly out. These guys are doing all this and they're just flying out. Like that's what you don't understand is the bases are back at the stadiums.
Yeah.
The bases are back at the stadiums for the conference events, hitting the stadium ball, and with that, there's several different factors that go into this. That is why you see a lot of different swings. If you follow much conference ball and you watch a lot of that stuff, you see a lot of different swings in those tournaments than you do just a traditional tournament where they're on a normal field.
Absolutely.
The turf is going to let the ball get places extremely fast, which means infielders can play deeper because of the ball's getting on you fast. You've got more time to throw a runner out.
Yeah, it's funny when guys always say you get a true hop on a turf field, and I'm going, it's gas, dude. There ain't nothing true about that.
I will say from the aspect of you're not going to get that wild looking hop. You can chest the ball up, but man, yeah, you're right. Balls go so fucking fast on the turf. It's wild.
Yeah, I'm playing first base, and so if you got a man on first, and I'm trying to play even with the bag, so maybe I can get a one hopper and tag this dude and roll a double play. And this dude's hitting left-handed, and I was like, man, I don't want my teeth looking like chiclets on the ground when I, just scared to death of that shit. But,
so we've got a turf field here in town, and like they'll come in and we'll do some like ground balls or something like that after we get done hitting sometimes. And like if you got like Gabe, my buddy Gabe, when he hits his ground balls, he's a lefty and he's got kind of a slice swing. So not only is the ground ball like skipping really fast coming at you, but it's also like skipping sideways, and it's like the slower, like the more the ball bounces, the more it slows down, the more it starts to bite the turf. So the more it starts like jumping sideways. It's like, man, that's sketchy.
Hell yeah, dude. We played in the Sunday League last weekend, and this older guy, I mean, you could tell he was definitely much older than I was, and I'm old. And he was a lefty, and he hit a scud rocket at me. And his name was Dan. And I said, thanks, Dan. I don't fucking like you anymore. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Hey, man, you get back to the dugout, you're going to have one less friend on Facebook.
Hey, why? Delete, unrequest or some shit.
Yeah. No, it's so funny, though. But that's what I would change, though. I would move the bases back and make the game a little bit more defensive. And, yes, I understand that puts me at a disadvantage. But I like to see the defensive side of things. I really enjoy that. Maybe some of that's just me as a pitcher. I like pitching to my defense, doing that kind of thing. I don't know. But I personally enjoy more the defensive side of things, especially when you get into like good competition. Like you start to watch the C teams and the B teams play. It's like, man, let's see what these guys got. Like anybody can hit. Let's see what these guys got in the field.
Man, if you ever get a chance, everybody can sit there. Guys not conference guys all the time. And if you can ever go to a conference tournament, I challenge anybody to go to a conference tournament, go watch these guys play, and sit there and actually watch these guys play. And you tell me you can sit there and do half the things they do. Because these guys are like ex-minor league guys, ex-college players, man, and they're huge and they're fast. And, I mean, I'm not saying there's not guys out there that somebody will say, hey, well, Mike, his speed's up there. So, shit, what, dude? I mean, you still got to go play defense,
Correct.
And do you know how to hit? And you go out there, man, and, because I talked with a lot of the conference guys, and I went down to the Myrtle Beach tournament, and they were playing on turf fields too. And, man, it's just the game is so much better. I watched the conference, which was just they called it majors back then. Mm-hmm. I watched it years ago in a baseball stadium in Burlington, North Carolina. It was where they had like a baseball stadium, and it was unlimited home runs. And, I mean, I'll say some old names here, but it was like Carl Rose, Wendell Ricard.
Oh, yeah.
Rusty Bumgardner, guys like that. Who was the big guy that played for Dirk Androff that died, the one that passed away?
Yeah.
And dude, the boringest. You watch the first game, and your neck is getting hurt because you're sitting there constantly looking at the home runs.
Yeah.
And after the first game, dude, you're like, okay, this shit's boring. I mean, because it's like a home run derby. Every dude looks like a linebacker, and he's hitting bombs out of a baseball stadium, and it's just boring, dude. And today's game is so more defensive. The guys are so more athletic.
Today's game is those linebackers, but they're playing defense and they're doing good.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you go see some guys, man. It's just you just sit there and watch me like this dude makes things look so easy that I know that's not. And maybe it's because of my age that I realize, how I've seen this game for so long. But I mean, it's crazy, dude. You see a guy like Josh Riley, right? He's 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Dude, he can't get out, and he absolutely flies. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You see a guy that tall fly, put it where he wants, and hit it out anytime he wants. And it's just, you go watch guys like that, man. I mean, I don't know. It's amazing to me to watch. I love this game. Do not get me wrong. I love this game. That's why I like to go watch it, man. I'm like a nerd. I mean, I try not to go up there and gawk and look like, hey, man, I want your autograph. But,
No, it's really cool to see. So I remember back in the day, so I spent a little bit of time working in Birmingham, Alabama, and back to softball fans again. We keep circling back to the softball fans for but I met a couple people from down there and started going out hanging out with them, hitting BP and stuff. And we show up at the field to hit BP one time, and there's this dude out there. And I mean, this dude's like, he shows up and like from a distance, like, who's this jackass out here hitting without a shirt on? Like, whatever, dude. Like,
yeah.
And I see him hit a couple balls. I was like, all right, so he can hit a little bit. We get down there and just kind of like unpacking. I was like, hey, I said, you guys almost done? He's like, well, we're gonna be here for a little bit longer. I said, you can jump in with us. And I get a little bit closer, and I mean, this dude had to be like 4% body fat, and I'd say Frank was probably. Frank probably like 6'3", 6'4". His name is Frank Yielding, come to find out. And remember thinking like, man, this dude is like nuts. So watching him hit, and like he kind of started showing off a little bit, and they kind of started putting everything together. He said, oh yeah, I played for this team or that team, and I was kind of like, oh, whatever. How many people do you know that are like, oh, I play, for that team, and it turns out they really don't. But this dude was talking the talk, and he was for real. And watching him hit that day, I was like, God dang. And he got to talking about him and some of the stories. We ended up hanging out with him almost the entire time we were there. We was at the ball field, another one of those like 5-hour days at the ball field. It was really cool just to listen to him talk about things and his approach to hitting. And I remember seeing this dude hit and thinking like, this is the best hitter I have ever seen.
Yeah. Dude.
And then you go out and watch him play, and he's batting in the freaking 9-hole. There's 8 other guys better than him.
That's crazy.
Dude, like, wow.
My girlfriend had set up for me to go hit with Robert Blackburn probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Nice.
And I got to go, take BP with him. And this was back when the Nighthawk was coming out and stuff like that. And dude, who didn't know Robo? Robo absolutely murdered the ball, and he had that big tomahawk swing. And I was sitting there, man, and I was pitching to him. And dude, I was so freaking nervous. It was crazy. I was like, I couldn't even believe I could throw him a strike. But I was pitching to him, and he had just gotten out of a car wreck, right? And he said, yeah, man, I hadn't picked up a bat in about a month. I was in a wreck, and it just hurt my back and stuff. And he comes out there, dude, and he's just raking. He's pulling everything at first. And there really wasn't much of a fence in left field. It was just like, I mean, you could hit golf balls out there.
Yeah.
And just inflate it. So he was hitting them, just bombs. And I was just like, at first, I wasn't crazy impressed because I was like, all right, I've hit with big dudes that just hit bombs and stuff. But he was hitting low line drives. Well, then he said, hey, stay behind the screen. I'm going to go backside. I said, okay. Then he started hitting backside. I said, okay, I get it now. I was like, wow. And it was just lasers, man, just hitting the piss out of the ball backside. And I said, I get it now. I was like, this. And nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in the world.
It was. Yeah, it's the same thing. This guy we showed up with, and he was at the park that day. He's hitting 400 footers and on a very hot. I mean, it's hot. I mean, it was 95 degrees outside, and you live in the South. Like, dude, the air is so thick you can cut it with a knife.
Exactly.
And he's still hitting balls 400 feet. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, we've all seen this before. And then same thing. It's like, all right, so I'm gonna work some backside and some middle here. Make sure you're behind the screen. And the first ball he threw me, like I dropped everything in my hand. I had like 4 or 5 balls in my arm. He hit a ball. It went over my head. Didn't even hit the screen. Went over my head, and I dropped everything I had in my hands. I mean,
Oh shit!
It was just like good God, like.
If you're hitting bombs and heat like that, man, you are a man. I'm sorry, you're a different kind. You should be on the bounty paper towel roll or something. But.
Yeah, he was out there, working gaps and keeping the ball down, and then he'd say, "All right, I'm gonna hit one out now." And he'd hit one out, then he'd hit 3 or 4 more base hits, and at one point he's like, "All right, so I'm gonna work on my stadium swing." I mean, this dude was, like I said, it was incredible. He was in good shape anyway, but the fact that he could stand out there and swing for that long was also impressive. He says, "All right," I'm gonna take some stadium swings now. I was like, I don't know what the hell that means. Back then, I didn't really know what any of that meant. And dude, I'm watching him hit balls. I Google Earthed, and at one point he didn't hit a ball under 380 feet for God. Wow. It felt like 20 swings, and he was pissed. He was so mad. He's like that's caught at Disney, or dang it, or he'd kick some dirt and get back in there and hit another one, and it's like that might do. I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, we're on a 310-foot fence, and they're like still going up as they're going out. I'm thinking like, man. Like who is this guy? But knowing what I know now, like man, you got to be that different kind of good to play at that level.
Oh yeah, you're right, man. Those guys it's something different in their blood, man. I mean, seriously, it really is. I mean, I know there's dudes that like, D and C ball players and stuff, mostly D guys that are like, man, I can hit it in the hundreds and stuff. But I said, I get it, man. I'm cool, whatever. And I said, but he's not hitting the net. He's hitting on the field, and he's getting on base, and he can play defense and. I mean, right. And I think there's some guys that deserve a chance? Absolutely. But, I mean, when you go out there and watch them guys, man, and hear people attack these conference guys, especially the big name guys, they're like, oh, they're swinging stadium, using stadium balls and player bats and shit. I was like,
if it's that easy, go do it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was at a tournament one time, and I got a buddy of mine. He was a big guy, and he was getting in the home run derby. And he asked BJ Falk, man, and I forget, because it made me feel good. And because this dude, it had an ego that just, couldn't fit in a bay door. So
sure.
He asked BJ Falk, he said, what are you going to swing? I'll swing. He says, I'll swing your bat if you want me to. And he's like, he said, here, or take my bat, whatever you want, man. He said, I'll swing. And he kind of came off as a dick, but I got it, man. At first, I was like, man, I don't know, BJ's kind of a dick. And then I started listening to him, and I was around him some. And I said, dude, this dude's not a dick. He's just under attack all the time, man.
Yeah.
And he's all, it's just crazy, man. And everybody's like, give me a free bat, or,
hey,
and I mean,
give me the hookup.
Yeah, exactly, man. Or you're like, man, you got a special bat or whatever they give you or something. I'm just like, whatever, dude. Y'all kill me, man. I was like, just give his guy his dude, tip your hat, man, and just shut the hell up.
Right.
But
it's annoying.
Yeah, conference stuff's fun though, man. I've talked to a ton of them, man, and there's a lot of good guys out there in conference ball. I mean, I'll talk to 11, and there's one dickhead out of 11, but that just kind of really likes himself a lot. But man, the majority of the guys are really cool, and they'll talk to you and stuff. I'm not saying word that piss out of them, but just there's some guys out there, man, that you can just talk to forever and talk about hitting. Like, I don't care. I'm not asking them for free stuff. I just want to talk to them about hitting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, me coming up, man, I mean, nobody taught me how to play, do anything. My dad, he thought I was wasting my time playing ball. So I was like, this is my thing. Leave me alone. It makes me happy. So just leave me alone. I'm going to do it. But, I wish that's why I do the interview sometimes, because I want to help the guys that are coming up and say, hey, man, what's this guy's thoughts process on hitting or whatever like that. And that's kind of why I do some of the stuff I do. And I just like talking to these guys, man, because I want to see their take on how they do things. But.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I didn't come from like a super athletic family or anything like that. I played Class 1 baseball. I got one bullshit scholarship offer that was like so beyond the fact that like I don't even know why I got one. And it's just like I didn't come from like the pedigree, you might say, of good athletes. So when I started playing, like I didn't have anybody to help me. Like I said, my old man worked on cars. Like if I wanted to build a race car, he'd help me. If I said, hey, Dad, can you help me with my ball swing? He'd say, well, I don't know what to tell you. Swing hard. Swing harder. It's just So I taught myself everything I know. When I first started playing softball, I couldn't hit a ball, and I'm serious. I couldn't hit a ball out of a 230-foot field. I tried.
Dude,
I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried for probably 60 swings, and I never got one out. I could throw a ball further than I could hit it. And
yeah, I know the feeling. When I first started, man, I taught junk to my buddy and stuff, and I was like, I went out there and played, and he says, well, what position you play? And I was like, I play anywhere in the infield, and they put me at shortstop. So the first year or so, man, I played shortstop. To think of this fat guy right now that could play shortstop, wow. But yeah, I couldn't hit a lick. I mean, could not hit, dude. And so the first thing I wanted to learn was how to hit it out. That's all I wanted to look at. And finally learned how to hit it out. And then everybody's like, hey, man, have you ever played tournament ball? And then I get in the tournament ball, and I start hitting them out, and they're like, dude, you can't do that here. I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah. So then all the years of playing lower level ball, I just kind of altered my swing to keep it down. And now, dude, I couldn't hit a ball out from second base probably, I don't think, unless you give me I don't even think I could do it with a senior bat.
Oh, quit.
But hey, man. You need a guy to get on base. I'll get on base for you. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's a great game, man.
Absolutely. It's and things like this too, like sitting down and kind of rubbing shoulders and talking and chatting with another content creator is always fun. Like softball players in general. Like I had Snacks on last week. He's been a really good friend of mine for years now, and I always like talking softball with him and getting made fun of for cheese pizza and boneless wings, but it's whatever.
Well, I was told it was pizza though. I did. It was told me that.
Damn it! I kind of set myself up for that one, didn't I?
Somebody hit me up on that on Instagram. He said, "You tell Jesse he owes you a pizza, dude." I don't remember who it was.
Well, you go ahead and tell them they're wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was God, I can't remember their name, but yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah, I heard there was pizza. Yeah, maybe next time there will be. Maybe next time I'll sit here with a pizza while I podcast.
Oh yeah,
but,
pizza with Jesse.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I see Eric said in his in one of these comments here. Where was it? Oh, Eric's son says BP Hero on the road food reviews. Go out and play a tournament and do some food reviews all out on the tournament. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be some good content.
That'd be like your new vlog thing you could do.
Yeah. See, that's how the thing with vlogging sometimes is like you sit back and you watch. Like I watch a lot of vloggers, and it's like, man, you like really a lot of it is just them like going somewhere and eating and talking about how good the food was and the adventure of that. Like
different. Yeah. As long as you don't go to all these damn cookie cutter towns that always got the same shit.
Oh, I hate that.
You try some of the new, one of the newer or one of the mom and pop places or something like that.
My golden rule is don't eat somewhere you can eat at home. Even if I just go to an hour away for a day, don't eat somewhere you can eat at home.
You're exactly right. I like that. I mean, I love that idea because because my son has made me hate Chick-fil-A, and I was like, I just can't. I'm like, dude, you cannot eat Chick-fil-A every single day. But whatever.
I mean, now listen, I'm kind of on his side here on this one. I could probably eat Chick-fil-A every day.
He's wore me out with
it. It might add up, but I think I could do it.
If they promise me the chocolate chip cookies, I'm good. So.
Oh, they said I didn't know they had chocolate chip cookies. I know the mac and cheese is good though.
Dude, you gotta try their chocolate chip cookies. I think it's got something different in it. I can't remember if it's got like oatmeal in it or something.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a chocolate chip cookie with like oatmeal or something in it.
Man,
but they're expensive, dude. About 6 of them. It's like $10 on them. Jesus Christ.
Well, hey,
it's really like gourmet shit or something.
Well, at least we got. It sounds like we got our next idea for a vlog video is go to Chick-fil-A and get cookies while I play League.
There you go. Shout out to Dakota.
Right.
Yeah, I know you got to go. I just saw what time it is. I'm like, holy cow, you've been on here for a while.
Oh no, it's good. The conversation's flowing. I do need to go, but the conversation's flowing, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world right now.
Hey, I got to give some shout outs to the guys that hit with me. Aaron Cook, he hits with me all the time. He's the hybrid hitter. Hits for power and average. Garrett Estes, he's the young guy, up and comer. Ben Kazura. Ben just had a baby last weekend, so we want to welcome his little baby girl into the world. Ben. And then Chad Malott, he does the senior reviews with me, and you'll catch him doing some of the other stuff. He's a little short guy, hits the piss out of the ball. And then the greatest BP pitcher ever, my son Dakota. He he graduates next week, so
Really? Awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, he graduates Wednesday. So say hey Dakota.
Hey, always giving a shout out to Dakota. Dakota's gonna make me go get some of the cookies. Is what he's gonna do.
Oh yeah, you definitely need to try them, man.
Yeah,
it's worth a try. But, man, I appreciate it, Jesse. I'll let you go, man. I know you need to go.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate you stopping in. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed it because I know I did. Really appreciate your time. Maybe we'll hook up and get together again soon. If we came up with an hour and 47 minutes of something to talk about, surely we can find something to talk about again sometime soon.
Dude, if it's softball, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. But thanks for stopping in, Adam. I appreciate everybody else stopping in. BP Hero's out of here. Next Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. Tune in. Swing hard in case you hit it. And BP Hero catch you next time.
All right, bud.
See you, man.
Later.